Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Russ and I drive my 2024 Super Forza Sport. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about the CVT experiences that I had with this car. And yeah, what if I told you that the Super Forza CVT feels completely normal and predictable 99% of the time until it doesn't? Yeah, today I'm sharing my real ownership experience, living with this gearbox, and yeah, for almost 2 years now. Basically, from all the highway driving, all the city driving, all the confusing and weird behavior, the traffic stops and cold mornings. Let's talk about all of it. So let's face it, the CVTs in general don't have the best reputation. They're known for being unreliable, boring, expensive to fix. So yeah, a lot of people, including me, that was me back in the day, are scared of CVTs and will tell you to avoid Subarus altogether just because it comes with a CVT. And I myself, before I got this car, was super concerned about the CVT and was really looking at the Toyota RAV4 with its 8-speed automatic as something that, I wish you could have in a Subaru. But of course, if you go for a Subaru, you don't really have a choice. It's not like you can opt out and order one with manual and automatic. So yeah, if you're getting a Subaru Forester, CVT is what you're stuck with. So let me tell you about my experience of living this CVT every day for the last almost 2 years now. Let's begin. So I guess I'll start at the good part first. Highway driving, 99% normal. I would even say 100% normal. It feels exactly like an automatic would feel, completely normal and natural, smooth, quiet, predictable, cruising, I don't know, 50 miles an hour, 70, 75, no drama. If you don't pass somebody, okay, you press the throttle and the car goes without CVT creating like any drama whatsoever. The only thing to note here that would not make it feel like an automatic, I guess, is this car does have imaginary gears. They call them simulated gears. I don't remember if it's 7 or 8 of them. It doesn't really matter. But point is, when you try to accelerate, the car is gonna go through imaginary gears, giving you the sensation like you're shifting. But yeah, so basically, let's say you want to pass somebody, you step on the gas, the car is gonna go through gears as if it's a regular automatic, for example. And sometimes you would press on the gas and the car would choose not to do the simulated gear changes, and instead it would just keep you at certain RPMs, and you would still of course be accelerating, but the car just decides that the fastest way to go forward is not to do the simulated gear changes and just keep you at the same high RPM. In that case, basically you do feel the whole CVT experience, meaning that it's just this really boring, whiny sound and feels like you're just stuck in same RPM and nothing's happening. Yes, of course you're accelerating, but yeah, in that case, yeah, I get why Subaru is doing their simulated gear changes, because it definitely makes the car feel more like a regular automatic and less like the CVT. But sometimes, yeah, the reason I'm telling you this, it's sometimes the car does choose to be full-on CVT, and yeah, it just keeps you at the same quote-unquote gear and same RPM, and then you're just going forward and listening to that really boring and not really inspiring whiny sound of the CVT. But it's important to tell you that this happens rarely, maybe 2% of the time. When you're going to be driving on a highway, you're going to encounter the situation I just described. So maybe not even that. So yeah, I would still say that highway driving and CVT on the Subaru Forester, no issues, no complaints. And what I described is rare occasion. And even if it does happen, okay, so what? Yeah, the car did not do the simulated gear changes and didn't present itself as an automatic. But okay, yeah, it's a CVT, so no issues here. So now let's talk about the city driving. And here is the part where I kind of wish the Subaru gave us a regular automatic. It's not bad, but it has its quirks. And yeah, let me tell you all of the interesting, bewildering, and confusing situations that I had with the CVT over the time that I drove this car. So here I would say that most of the time, not 99% of the time, but most of the time, maybe 90% of the time that I drove this car, it feels as good as a regular automatic. But sometimes at the same time, the car can get a little jumpy and can sort of lurch forward and can sound a little rough. But yeah, it's not violent. It's not like it's broken or anything like that. It's just the regular CVT uh, experience that you get on this car. And yeah, so let me tell you more about these cases. You know what's crazy is that what I just described, the car sounding a little jumpy, sounding a little rough. Uh, what's most annoying is that it's completely unpredictable when it's gonna happen. Sometimes I would go and drive 700 miles, city driving, highway driving, and it would happen occasionally every like 300, 500 miles for a little bit. Or sometimes I would drive to a store, park the car was normal. Then I get out, 10 minutes later, I jump into the car, I start driving, and the car like tries to as if skip a gear, and you feel between like 20 and 30 miles an hour, something like that. The car is just not sure what to do, and it feels a little jumpy, feels a little rough. It's just like it feels like a complete disconnect with the car because usually you are used to not having that experience. You just, press on the gas and you go, and it's smooth. But yeah, so the unpredictability overall is the most frustrating part. Like I'm driving now, I don't have any of what I'm just describing to you and didn't have it for a while, but I never know the next time I start the car, I might have this. So yeah, but the only thing that I did find that sort of correlates to this happening more often is the temperature changes. So basically, in the colder temperatures, you are more likely to experience this. For example, to me, the golden standard is if the oil temp in the car is under 200 degrees Fahrenheit, the car is more likely to give you the symptoms of the CVT being not sure what gear it should be in and just basically lurch forward a little bit, skip a gear, and just act weird and a little abnormal. Yeah, it does go away actually when the temperatures get, warmer and the car warms up. But at the same time, I had instances where I would do city driving for like an hour and a half, and from the moment I start the car all the way till the end of my journey, I would just experience this like jerkiness almost. And yeah, so in that case, the temperatures were more than, sufficient, but at the same time, I would still experience it. But yeah, like I said, unpredictability is what drives me crazy sometimes because yeah, it doesn't happen every time. Um, and it just happens so randomly sometimes. Like I could have cold days when it doesn't happen. I could have cold days when it does happen. Sometimes I warm up the car for 10 minutes and it still happens. And I get these jerky movements basically. Or sometimes I don't warm up the car at all and I start driving and, when I'm in a rush and it just completely smooth. So yeah, unpredictability is what drives me a little crazy, but I guess I just learned to accept it and live with this. Another thing I must cover about this CVT is the fact that sometimes when you are braking at, say, a red light, you'll be braking, you're going, let's say, 25 miles an hour, then you brake down to 20, then you do 15, and then let's say you decide to coast a little bit and let your foot off the brake, thinking that there's enough space for the car to just like gradually come to roll into that stop or something. What you sometimes experience, and it would definitely freak me out first couple of times I experienced it, it's basically around 15 miles an hour. So the car would almost feel like it's speeding up by like a mile or two. And that definitely messes with your head and your sensations because you're like, okay, I was braking. I let my foot off the brake. The car is doing 18 miles an hour, 16, 15, and whoa, what's that sensation? Like we're just speeding up by like a mile out of the blue. What's going on? And basically, a lot of people in the forums were as concerned as I am. Well, I was at the beginning. So basically, what happens is the torque converter releases, and that gives you a sensation of you gaining speed. Sometimes I actually did see the speed go up like a mile. Your passengers are not going to feel it. Like I would ask my wife, "Do you feel anything? Did you just feel that?" She's like, "No, no." So, but as a driver, you definitely feel it. And once again, it doesn't happen all the time. So it's not like, oh yeah, every time I come to a stop, I have to remember to keep my foot on the brake till we brake past that point where the torque converter releases so it doesn't give you the weird sensation. No, no, no. You drive this car like normal. And sometimes, I mean, at this point, I'm just used to it now. But sometimes, yeah, I know now that, and I've even told my wife when she's driving this car with me, basically, it's okay if you are driving and you let your foot off the brake around 15 miles an hour, somewhere there. You might feel like the car is gaining speed, and it's as if it's accelerating again. It's not really doing that. It's just torque converter releases, and therefore, for like a brief second, you feel like you're speeding up, but then the car is gonna gradually continue to slow down, basically. But yeah, first few times when it happened to me, I was just like, what is this? I never experienced this. Why does it do this? It doesn't feel normal. And honestly, I wish it didn't do that, obviously, but that's just one of those quirks that this car does and that this CVT does. And not a problem to me now because I'm so used to it. And yeah, I would say I would feel it in a real, like, pronounced way, maybe 2 times out of 10 times that I'm driving this car. So yeah, once again, it's not all the time, but occasionally when the car decides to surprise you with this, it just does it. So yeah, not bad, not dangerous, just different. And yeah, you have to accept it and get used to it, I guess. In terms of reliability, obviously, it's like pretty much a brand new car. It's 2 years old at this point, and I luckily didn't have any issues with the gearbox, no warning lights. Nothing really that would make me want to show it to a mechanic, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just behavior differences, I guess. And yeah, so I guess you just have to know them, get used to them, and be aware that that's just the way this car is and that's how it does things. I mean, Subarus, when you look at the engineering behind these cars, they are a little different. I think you would agree than most cars, but yeah, that's what makes them fun, interesting, quirky, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, at the end of the day, um, was I concerned about getting a car with a CVT? Yes. But then again, yeah, no other options. I liked everything else about this car, and I'm just like, okay, let's take a risk on CVT and see what happens. And still, to this day, no regrets. If there was an option to um, put an automatic in this car, I would pay extra. I would pay extra. Give me, I don't know, 6-speed automatic. I would be happy customer. But yeah, since you don't have that as an option, you're stuck with what you got. And this car overall, I think, makes up for the CVT and its little quirks. I still think it's a great car. And yeah, knowing what I know about the CVT today, um, I don't have any regrets that, oh yeah, I'm stuck with this Subaru and it's stupid CVT. No, no. I'm very happy, and maybe somebody would even say I'm nitpicking here, and but no, not really. I'm just telling you about my honest experiences, and um, yeah, hopefully these are going to be useful to you, and maybe you experience the same in your car. In that case, let me know in the comments, or maybe you experience something that I did not mention. So I'd be happy to listen and answer any questions that you have. So I guess in conclusion, I would say, is the Subaru Forester CVT a deal breaker? No, it's not to me at least, and it's mostly normal. And yeah, it definitely feels like an automatic most of the time. Sometimes it reminds you that it's a CVT, and that's okay too, I guess. But that's the real truth about my experience with this car. And yeah, so give it a try, do a test drive, see how it feels. But overall, I think it's not bad. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.